Marcelo. He's got my Chiefs at number 5.
Yeah, that's too low.
Got to bring it back the old days, Colin. Used to have me on the show. All right, welcome to Speak for Yourself. I'm Jason Whitlock. That's Marcellus Wiley. Coming up, we'll tell you if Kevin Durant's free agency will be a distraction for the Warriors.
And if LeBron is the most important figure in black culture. Yeah, I just said that. But we start today with a Whitlock. What you got today, big dog?
I got Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman ran into a burning building last night looking to save the women and children. The Green Bay Fire Department pronounced Sherman dead at approximately 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. According to the local coroner, cause of death was Aaron Rodgers' inhalation. Rodgers and Devontae Adams were on fire Monday night. Rodgers threw for 425 yards. He connected with Adams 10 times for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns. On the last and defining possession of the game, Sherman decided he'd try to put out the fire. He moved into the slot to cover Adams. Y'all ever see the movie, The Towering Inferno? He came out in 1974. Paul Newman, Steve McQueen, Faye Dunaway. It was a classic about this 138-floor skyscraper in San Francisco that caught fire because an electrician cut corners. Steve McQueen's character saved the day by blowing up a water tanks on top of the building. Richard Sherman tried to be Steve McQueen last night. Sherman pulled it off for one play, and then he got caught in a plot twist. Instead of the Towering Inferno, the final drive turned into Backdraft. You remember the ending of Backdraft? Steven, the hero of the movie, dies in an ambulance at the end. The refs double-crossed Richard Sherman. They flagged him for illegal contact on 3rd down, wiping out a sack and breathing new life into Aaron Rodgers. You know what happened next? Aaron Rodgers led the Packers to the game-winning field goal. The question is, do you blame Sherman for trying to play hero this late in his career? Eric Mangini does.
Looking at it on TV, it looked like he patted his chest and said, I'm going to go take this guy. And then the other guys were scrambling around like he was going to call a shot. He was going to handle the problem. And then he goes inside, and he handled the problem, all right? He handled it for Green Bay and gave him a first down on 3rd and 15. If you're going to go call your shot and you're going to go against what everybody else is doing and what you practice in that situation, then you better hit it out of the park.
I completely disagree with my friend Eric Mangini. Great suit, Eric. Rodgers and head coach Mike McCarthy made a decision Monday night not to throw at Richard Sherman. He was an uninvolved bystander for most of the night. That had to be a game plan decision. The Packers liked other matchups. By lining up opposite Adams, Sherman took away Rodgers' favorite target. Somebody besides Adams was going to have to beat the 49ers. I believe Sherman's caping up contributed to the sack of Rodgers. I want my most experienced and decorated defender to want the responsibility of Rodgers and Adams. I believe Richard Sherman died a hero last night, slain by Aaron Rodgers. Sherman was not a past his prime superstar choking on his own ego or a victim of shady officiating. This is a whodunit, guys. It's a murder on the Lambeau Express. Who killed Richard Sherman last night? Aaron Rodgers, the refs, or Sherman's ego? 1 to 3, Marcellus. Who are the suspects? How do you rank the suspects?
Oh, man. Word on the street, I'm a suspect. Let me start here and end here. God, this is Compton on Compton crime right here. But it's Richard Sherman's ego, man. And Mangini started to say what we all should know about professional sports. We're well-conditioned athletes. We're accustomed to our rituals. We're accustomed to what our behaviors are, what we practice on. So it's not just, Sherman, you can lock down Adams for a few plays or this drive. It's, now I'm out of position. Now I'm scrambling. And we saw earlier in the game when they were in the diamond set, only 2 corners ran over there for 4 receivers. So this is already a team trying to find their way against a team that they're supposed to lose to. And they were overachieving. So for 3+ quarters, Richard Sherman, we didn't need that. We didn't need that. It was working the other way. And then you just totally transformed what our norm was. And as a result, Richard Sherman, watch what you ask for because you just might get it. And what he got was a guy out of position, not only physically, not only beaten off the line on the play, but out of position in terms of where he is right now recovering from his injury and where Adams is. Watch on the play. Adams took off, had Sherman beat on the first move. Sherman tried to respond to that, And then he had him beat on a second move. And in that position, you hold a guy because you realize this is big stakes. I don't want to give up the pass. Hate to be this guy, but Sherman is the reason why that drive stayed alive and they lost that game.
Who's?
No, I disagree with that.
Okay.
When you're of Richard Sherman's caliber, you want that responsibility. The drive before, Devontae Adams was eating up whoever was on him.
Yeah.
Richard Sherman said, I'm the best corner on the team. I got him. If the coaches ain't going to do it, I'll do it. Because he's proven himself since he's been in the league that I can shut down the best receiver. It just didn't work out that time. It is what it is. Devontae Adams, he's no slouch.
Right.
You can call, if you call that illegal contact, you can call illegal contact literally every pass play in the NFL. He touched him. He didn't tackle him. He didn't really grab him. He put his hand on his chest. No big deal.
It impeded his progress. And as a receiver, you would not want somebody doing that to you as a receiver.
Now, if I'm a receiver, of course I want that call. But I'm a fan of football.
Yeah.
I don't blame the refs at all.
If Richard Sherman is not covering Devontae Adams, they up and down the field. You saw the drive before. It was easy pickings. Very easy.
Yeah, I do think he took him away
I think
pre-snap.
competition at its finest, right? As a competitor, as one of the best players out there, you want to crunch time decisions. You want to make them plays. You want to be on the best guy that's been basically dominating the whole game. So he put himself in that position. I think that, obviously things were going well, somewhat for him on the other side.
Right.
But he wanted to be in the right position to be able to make the right plays, and he tried to step up for his squad. Unfortunately, he got flagged.
The previous drive before that, when Richard Sherman was in a slot on Adams and he ran that deep over route, Aaron Rodgers looked to go to him. Richard Sherman was undercutting. He held the ball. So that's one play. It happened.
Yes.
I mean, Devontae Adams gets paid a lot of money. I would hope he can win some.
Cliff, though, if you're in that locker room, you're in that defensive locker room today watching film, and he had done that. He put himself in that spot, and it blew up in his face. How do you feel as a defensive teammate?
I'm still looking at him as competition, because he's seen what Adams been doing all game long. If you watch the game, they only targeted towards Sherman twice that whole game. So he's like, all right, well, I'm going to man up on this guy, see if they want to try me. I would have just took it as, man, he's just trying to make a play. He's trying to do the right thing by his team.
I respect all that. And you acting like I got to now not be friends with Richard Sherman because he lost the game. Look, I'm sitting there, and if I'm looking at Mason Crosby when he played against Detroit, I'm still your friend that week after, to the point where now you have the fairy tale ending and you win the game the next week. I'm not mad at Richard Sherman, but when we see our schedule, we know we have a game. It's in Green Bay. And then the next thing that happens is actually a game plan. Oh, you know why we have a game plan? Because we should stick to this, and this will give us the best chance for success. And it was working. Here's the thing about what I learned from football that taught me so much about life, the microcosm of football, as people say. When you're a football player, you know this. When you get fatigued, when you're not conditioned, when you're not prepared, when you're out of your norm, that's when issues occur. Just like in real life. Think about it. Richard Sherman been doing his thing over there, and other guys felt comfortable doing what they were doing. Whether it was working or not, they felt comfortable. And Richard Sherman took everyone out of their comfort zone and had this domino effect. And like Mangini said, you got to hit it out the park then.
Okay, but Marcellus, I felt like Richard Sherman, being a student of the game, having played that whole 58 minutes and looking at them go away from him.
What comfort zone did he take him out of, though? Like, you got to – No. DB, cover your guy.
I think he took Aaron Rodgers out of his comfort zone because they had made a pregame decision we're not really going at Richard Sherman.
Definitely.
And so when he lines up against Devontae Adams, I think that takes Devontae Adams off the table, and I think that's one – because the sack was a bit of a coverage sack.
It was, definitely.
And so I felt like he took Aaron Rodgers out of his rhythm.
Devontae Adams had more than half of Aaron Rodgers' completions that game. So he was – this is your main receiver. I'm going to force you to throw the ball to somebody else. I applaud him for that's what you want. That's what you want.
As a competitor, that's definitely what you want. But the thing, too, with Sherman is they always ask him, why does he cover the best player on the team? He always plays the left side. Why doesn't he always – that time he was like, he's going to show you he can do it. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out that one play. But this Mac and guard, he can play with the best of them now.
Y'all answering it for me. That means ego. You know why? Because that voice inside you.
Everybody got ego.
Everybody playing got ego. and please don't let it lead you down the tunnels with Richard Sherman. Here's the thing. Sometimes when your reputation precedes you, you try to live up to something different than your reputation.
Yeah,
so he got caught in that trap.
We acting like he just got told. Like, he didn't play bad. They called a penalty.
No. But he did change the game now. And ego will make you make some bad decisions.
Yeah.
Everybody
they think I'm soft. They think
everybody that's a professional athlete has the ego. Everybody.
The great ones control it, though, and channel it in the right direction and don't get out over their skis. Now, I like the decision. I think he died a hero, but he died.
He did.
He died.
He did.
And
he did.
The next time he's in that situation.
Come on, Sharif, he did.
The next time he's in that situation, don't let your ego get out of control. Realize, hey, man, I'm not the same 23-year-old perennial Pro Bowler.
So what do we say if he makes the play then? What if he bumps down and he does what he needs